There's still so many. Oh, we got some new ones. And the existing fish tanks, they still keep having babies. And the dogs are doing well. Chomper's still loving every bit of his new aquarium. Ooh. The snails are absolutely still just taking over. It is non-stop. We just fed them recently, about 10 minutes ago. All the balloon mollies, you could see the color variations are exploding. Check out all the different patterns and combinations. It's wild. It's been a little bit since we've done an update. We have gotten rid of some, but they won't stop. They won't stop multiplying. They're just continuously breeding, continuously reproducing. And there's one of my favorites right there. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's got like the black spiky hair right there. Pretty cool. Call him the banana boy because he kind of looks like a banana. So a lot of these fish have still yet to grow and reproduce themselves, recreating a lot of a larger variety of color scheme too. So this will be exciting to continuously see this aquarium flourish, thrive to all new. Look, what? Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Hungry little fellas. Over here I'll do my best to show you because I do not have an aquarium light on this aquarium, but these are some gold mollies that we are specialized in. Well, we're basically going to try to do some really cool color combinations with these guys as well. So this will be an exciting project. Stay tuned on that. We're not going to talk too much about that until a lot more happens, but babies are happening, as you can see. And it looks like there's a soccer game going on over here. Look at them. Woo! They are chasing that food, going crazy, eating. This is the only big mama right here that I'm somewhat always concerned about because she has the biggest mouth out of every single one in this aquarium. And when that big mouth wants to feed, you can see it's voracious, relentless, continuously wants to feed. And that can lead to possible little offspring from some of the tinier little fish in here, the other balloon mollies and regular mollies reproducing to have their offspring eaten. So I do always keep an eye on her as best I possibly can because she can reduce this population, not intentionally, but just out of appetite. Look at that belly. Probably soon enough going to upgrade this filtration on this aquarium as well because the filtration seems to be, it works well, but not 110% excellent when it comes to having all this excess waste and all this excess food that is constantly being provided for this entire colony of fish. And towards the back you can see we got some new snails. They just tucked in because I just turned on the light, but they do an excellent job keeping this aquarium nice and tidy, as well as there's a little guy stuck over here too, right here. So that's the ones that are massively breeding, and those are the ones that came in on one little particular plant. One little plant, and they just did not stop growing. They just took over. But they serve their role as well because you could see that little mouth does a great job at cleaning. And I haven't scrubbed the glass in a while, but you could see closely the waves on all of that buildup on the glass, and that is the markings of snails constantly just slithering around. So they play their part very well, I must say. Could be worse things. And the albino pleco still hasn't grown. It is warranted that it is a dwarf, I'm sure. It's a dwarf pleco, so the bristlenose albino pleco, still an interesting addition to any aquarium, but I'd like to say that's it. And it's kind of a good thing because typically plecos get too big and you have to rehome them. So if you can find a dwarf pleco, cheers to that because it will last long and do a great job in keeping the aquarium clean, feeding on waste and algae. So it definitely has an important niche in your aquarium. I have added a lot more artificial plastic plants in the back to basically create a good, safe environment for the baby offspring so they're not out in a line of fire, constantly getting eaten, constantly getting taken over. That, as you can see, this is the last remains right here. That little tiny nub of a root in the middle of the screen, the green one. Well, that is the last of the live plants that we had before all of the snails and adding a lot of the newer snails took over. So they do love to eat, they do love to clean, and that is a good thing that snails just love to do. So that's the result of too many snails right there. Wonton the porcupine puffer, still amazing as always. Really hasn't grown much. As you can see, it's just basically just still blah, which is good. So we won't be needing to upgrade this aquarium too soon, and you know, that's it. Have added a few hermit crabs in here recently, but I'm unsure if Wonton, oh look at that one, upside down. I should save that one just to make sure. It probably popped in the show once again when I just flicked the light on, but gotta make sure that Wonton isn't eating them, which isn't a bad thing. But I have been feeding Wonton a lot of crunchy hard pellets, so it does file the teeth down and keep that natural teethers trimmed, so they're not going to overgrow, because pufferfish can definitely encounter having too big of teeth, and that's not good. Right? Look at you. Look at you. And never puffs up. Wonton never puffs up, which of course is a very entertaining thing, but doesn't display a sign of a calm pufferfish. That's definitely a stressed out puffer. So let's actually feed Wonton really quick. Got a handful of mixed floating pellets, and these are just your typical cichlid pellets that are floating. So let's go ahead and add them in. Are you ready? Are you ready? That's a face of being ready. Ready to eat. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, Wonton, Wonton, Wonton. Now, as Wonton does crush and devour these pellets, it does leave a lot of debris. A lot of debris everywhere. So that's the role of the hermit crabs, as you can see. They do and will feed off of all of that, so it doesn't create a bad buildup or throw off of the cycles in this aquarium. But they do their job, just like the snails in the freshwater aquarium. Now the salinity in this aquarium, once again, if you haven't seen the previous videos of Wonton, the porcupine pufferfish, the salinity is always kept at about 19. What is it? 0.19 salinity. So it's kept at a good brackish level. It's not over highly salt infused, but it's a good balance, just enough. You want more? No, that's it. We got to keep you lean. Keep you lean. Now, that mama, I think she just devoured that last pellet. Where'd she go? There you are. Oh, goodness. Look at that. Always looking to eat something. Always. And you got the babies always picking off of the fake aquarium plants in the back. They are still torn up from when they were in Chomper's aquarium. So they do look like these fish have been picking at them, but not really. They just eat the little food debris and detritus off of the back. So that's actually pretty good. And that about sums it up. There really isn't too much of an update here. I just did want to, for our fans, go ahead and... Oh, wait a minute. How could I forget? We still have the Platy aquarium. Let's go ahead and talk about that really quick before we end this video. See you soon. We'll see you soon. Amongst all of the other fish we have, this is a freshwater aquarium as well. You can see there is breeding going on in the back there with those two platies. Now, they are constantly breeding as well. There are many little babies. Some like to hide. I'd like to say that it's been a while since we did an update, so all of the tiny little babies now have grown into juvenilehood, and they are going to be soon ready enough to reproduce themselves. Oh, yeah, there's a couple. We just fed them too, so they are pretty. They have a nice hefty gut too, where they kind of resemble a balloon molly, but these are not. Completely different species, and they do love to coexist with each other no matter which color scheme you get. Some of them do resemble the parents, some of them do have a nice variety of color combination as well. Do have snails present in this aquarium as well. These were purposely put in. I placed them in so they would sift the sand. This has just a big sand bed on the bottom of the aquarium, so it needs to be cleaned pretty frequently and does reduce the amount of gravel sifting or sand sifting the substrate on the bottom while doing the water changes. So that does help. There's a lot more. I'm surprised why there's not many out right now. But I threw about maybe 15 adults in here, and there's some babies. I think a lot of them are just buried under the sand bed right now. As you can see, those little black spots, those, they do like to hide and bury, which does keep them safer, because in the balloon molly aquarium, they do tend to be ended up as food sometimes. So the mollies do pick at them, but there's thousands in there, so there's plenty to go around. So this is the quick update on the Platy aquarium, and we hope you like this video. Like, subscribe if you can, we really appreciate it, and stay tuned for more A1A adventures.